Hello everyone, welcome to CES 2026. I'm here joined by John Stevenson, Chief Product Officer at PTC. Hello John, so nice to see you again.
Hi, Nolan. It's nice to see you as well.
I really enjoyed your session about smarter AI tools for enterprise yesterday. But before we unpack this topic, let's begin with PTC. Tell us what PTC does and who it serves.
Well, PTC is an intelligent product lifecycle company servicing the manufacturing sector. All of our customers manufacture products. Our products trade manufacturable data and then help our customers analyze and manage the data, and then manage the processes that consume the data. So we're in the manufacturing business, but we're also in the data business.
You know, I enjoyed visiting your customer experience center early December, so kudos to the success you feel. You know, you've been talking about moving beyond AI buzz to creating AI in real enterprise environment. So from product leadership perspective, what are the missteps you've seen from leadership perspective?
Well, there's a couple. I would say the biggest one is that people don't consider the changes in governance and data security that need to be implemented when they implement AI within their enterprise processes. They need to carefully consider governance the same way they did when they put those processes in place in the first place. I think the second thing to consider is that people see the tremendous productivity gains when AI is applied to things like software development, and they think they can get the same in other engineering disciplines, which you can. But in those cases, AI will have to be augmented with orchestration and even embedding physics engines within LLMs. So the solutions would be just as impressive, but they'll be different and a little bit more complex.
You know, that's a very important point, especially data governance, having that at the very beginning rather than become an afterthought. When you talk about smarter tool for enterprise, what does that really mean? And then, so what really distinguishes a product enterprise being enterprise ready versus those looking great in demo but struggles in production? Yeah.
There are a lot of AI tools that are enterprise ready, but they need to be deployed within an enterprise framework. And by that, I mean they need to consider data governance, data access, database access, software security, and things like traceability and version control. When you deploy AI tools, you're introducing new potential vulnerabilities into your environment, new risks, things like data exfiltration. You're exfiltrating data outside of your enterprise or giving people within your enterprise access to data they shouldn't have access to. So you need to carefully consider security, governance, version control, and traceability when you deploy these tools.
That's really music to my ears, by the way. And I get to ask about this question all the time, right? How should the product leader think about AI data strategy when they want to build AI with durable value versus just short-term gains?
Well, like I said, we're in the data business. We create data and then we help our customers organize and manage that data and manage the processes that consume the data. And clean, structured, well-understood data is the foundation of success for AI. And a lot of the AI applications that are impressive today that I'm sure you'd see on the internet, people have cleansed the data before using LLMs to train on the data. Sometimes it's an army doing the data cleansing or data cleanup. So customers need to consider whether or not their data is ready for AI applications. And then the AI application itself should probably decide where clean data or structured data lives.
Could you give us a use case a successful use case that really worked at scale?
Well, in engineering today, your most successful applications of AI are cases where the data can be parsed semantically or syntactically. And a couple of examples where it's being successfully used at scale today: validation of engineering firewalls, which are written in plain English, even though they're extremely technical, and generation of test cases to validate the results of engineering efforts. And in large manufacturing companies, there are thousands of people involved in those activities, and they can use AI to improve the productivity of their efforts in these areas. and do it in a way as traceable and version control within processes that already exist.
Well, that's a great really segue for our next question. And Agentic AI is gaining a lot of attention these days, right? And from product development perspective, when do you really use Agentic AI, or when should you really shine away from it?
Well, I would start by using Agentic AI in cases where the desired results, the expected outcomes are well understood. Because you're automating processes and you want to be able to check when results without any issue. We have a framework that we use with customers that we call advise, assist, and automate. So first, we start by answering questions using AI, surfacing information and data, and then automating those processes, but under the control of the live user, and finally automating the processes using agents. But I would start by using agents in cases where I can, for quality control, quality automation on that end results.
I love that framework. Thanks for sharing that. And you know, a lot of the product leaders trying to decide when to build versus buy versus wait on. What kind of questions should they really be asking while doing that kind of evaluation process?
Well, I've already talked about governance and application security. And again, you need to be very careful that you're not introducing new zero-day vulnerabilities into your enterprise, and that you're not introducing new risk into your enterprise. But other things to consider are, why am I using AI in the first place? Do I understand the expected outcomes of the application of AI? And here's one that a lot of people miss. Do I have a plan for end user adoption? I'm going to ask a lot of my users to change the way they work. Do I have a plan to train them on AI tools and assist them in adopting these tools? And then ultimately changing workflows that these people use to get their jobs done.
Those are very important questions. John, the through line here is clear. Enterprise AI is not about chasing capabilities. It's about data foundation, production, reliability, and responsible implementation. The device assist and automate framework really resonated with us. So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us at CES. I look forward to seeing you again.
Here's my pleasure. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.